I'm Natasha from Bright Sprout Consulting, and I'm a career and life coach. My goal is to help individuals feel more confident in the world of work. If you are looking to build your confidence and you're just looking for a bit of guidance, then you've come to the right place, because I'll be sharing my top tips for how to build that confidence. There are many challenges we face as working professionals, and one that comes up fairly often is the challenge of working for a terrible boss. More often than not, individuals who leave organizations leave because of their line manager and not because they hated their job or they thought they weren't earning enough. I can think of at least 2 instances when this was true for me, where I left a really good job that I loved in a great organization because my line manager, yes, I said it, they were. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about terrible bosses and how to deal with them. There could be many reasons why you find your boss insufferable. And over the 15 years that I was an HR professional, I've probably heard most, if not all, of the reasons that people generally use to describe why their line manager sucks. Reasons like, they have their favorite people, I do all the hard work, they take all the credit. When things go wrong, I'm the first person they throw under the bus. They never speak to me, so I never know where I stand. I don't know what the expectations are. Or just, they're incompetent. They don't know what they're doing. I'm sure some of these things resonate with you, and based on your personal experiences, you probably have your own reasons that you could add to this list. Working for someone that treats you badly could potentially have long-term impacts on your mental and emotional state, and could result in things like stress and anxiety, anger and frustration, burnout. And none of these things help you be the best version of yourself. If I think back to one of my own experiences, I had a line manager who would happily throw me under the bus to save herself. And it filled me with immense anxiety. I remember going to work every day just waiting to be blamed for something that I did or didn't do that ruined everything. It made me feel incompetent because I wasn't able to do anything right, it seemed. It was a mental battle that I eventually overcame. So what should you do, I hear you ask? There are a couple of approaches you could use. The first approach is you can accept that your line manager is never going to change. Does a leopard change its spots? According to National Geographic, never. If you decide to use that approach, understand that you would have to adapt your style if you want the working dynamic to be different between you and your line manager. Or you could use the second approach, which is you could leave. You could find a better working environment for you. It's as simple as that. It's not really. Because sometimes you are trying to do the second approach and you just can't get out, so you feel stuck where you are. That's where the third approach comes in. You stay where you are for now, working as hard as you can until you get an opportunity to work somewhere else or for someone else. Whether you choose to stay because you want to or because you have to, here are a few things you could do to help you survive your dreaded boss. So my first suggestion is that you observe your boss in his or her natural habitat so that you can figure out their working style. Once you've figured out their style, it's easier for you to see what adjustments you need to make to ensure that the working relationship is productive. The aim is not for the two of you to become besties. It is to figure out how you can work better together. I had a line manager who was very different to me. She was prim and proper and very serious about work. The polar opposite to how I approach work. I believe work should be fun, and I do it in a playful way. She didn't appreciate it, and even though I delivered on all of the outputs, she still treated me like crap. I observed her for a while and figured out her approach and style and adjusted how I approached her. So we got things done. We were never friends. In fact, I would go as far as to say that we disliked each other quite a bit. But that didn't stop us from finding a way to work together more effectively. So my second tip is give yourself permission to adapt. Sometimes we're so focused on the fact that our line manager is terrible that we lose sight of our bigger picture, and that we would have to perform in our jobs to be able to get to where we need to go. Give yourself permission to adjust whatever you need to so that your performance remains at a high level and that you deliver well. My final tip is know when to pull the plug. Unfortunately, some working relationships are destined to not work out, despite your best efforts. Know when it's time for you to walk away from your toxic line manager. When you feel you're starting to lose focus or your performance drops, that's probably the best time to find a way out before it impacts your personal brand. I worked with a particularly terrible line manager. Instead of leaving, I made the decision to stick it out, which in hindsight I realized was a mistake. I didn't pull the plug fast enough, because what essentially happened was he started telling people that I was terrible at my job, and he essentially tarnished the personal brand and legacy I had created for myself over the years that I'd worked at this organization. It was a tough lesson to learn, that when you see the tide turn, that you should get out. We've come to the end of our video today. I hope that you were able to get something useful out of it, and that you are now better able to deal with those difficult, terrible bosses in your life. If you enjoyed today's video, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and turn on notifications to stay updated of new content. Before I go, as I mentioned earlier, I am a career and life coach. If you are looking to build your confidence in the world of work and you just need someone to walk that path with you, please feel free to reach out. All of my details will be in the description box below.